what do you think the lack of the rejection, the fear, a lot of agents get paralyzed. And I think part of this is just human, right? Human nature is none of us want to be rejected. None of us want to feel, shut down. But
Yeah.
what was it for you that you didn't really have that fear?
Yeah, I mean, I still don't like being rejected. I don't like to lose, but I still realize that, it's a playing field. And, I mean, there's a million realtors out there, and sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. So, you do have to have thick skin in the job we do, but it does hurt. Sometimes, you look out your, bedroom window and all of a sudden you see a sign, from another brokerage, and you go, wait a minute, what just happened? Weren't we friends for 10 years? Weren't we, and I'm not saying my neighbor did that. I'm just saying this stuff happens. So, it is tough sometimes, but you just have to move forward. And, as a kid, like I said, as a kid, I got rejected a lot, when I was standing out there holding that can. A lot of people didn't put money in the can, and I was just like, okay, it never really bothered me. It really, as a kid, it didn't really bother me. You just go on.
I feel from just talking with a lot of people over the last 2 years now that, and just agents in general that I know just from coaching circles and masterminds and things like that, the most successful people still have those same fears, right? Maybe it's starting something new, but the difference is they run it through that filter a lot faster, and they don't let that stop them, right? Whereas some agents and some people, they run it through that filter and it just keeps psyching them out, right? A successful agent, if they want to start door knocking, or if they want to try internet leads, or it's just something that's maybe outside of the way they've built their business, they're still going to have some of those same fears, but they're just going to run it through that filter, right? And say, hey, I'm not letting this stop me, and I'm still going. I'm still going to execute. I'm still going to implement, and I'm going to learn as we go.
Right. And I think what agents need to realize too they're just people. People are just people, and they just want to be talked to. They just want to be, they want an honest opinion. I mean, I'm the realtor that goes out. If you're looking for a realtor that's going to come out and tell you everything you want to hear, and your house is worth $1 million and everything's great, I'm probably not your girl. Because when I go out, I tell people the truth. And it's not what they want to hear, it's what they need to hear. Because I'm here to do a job and to get, obviously the most money for the less amount of time that is our job. But I would say the majority of the people respect that, and they like that, and they want that. So, you just have to remember that people are just people. Don't let people intimidate you, no matter how much money they have, how big the house is, who they are, what they do. They're just people. And they might be a brain surgeon, they might be an attorney, but you know what? They're not realtors. They don't know what we know. They're relying on us. So, that's what we bring to them.
And for maybe the agent that's listening that struggles with some of those hard conversations, right? One of the best things is to just ask up front, and it could be like, hey, Beth, is it okay if I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, right? And honestly, that is a filter. Like I tell agents all the time, like there's filters that I want to have people go through, and that's going to tell me if they're seriously motivated and ready to do something in real estate or not. And for me, if they tell me, and that if I ask, hey, is it okay with you to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, and they tell me no, well then red flag, right? Filter.
It is.
Maybe they're not as serious, maybe they're not as ready, maybe they're not as realistic. And I know there's agents out there, I struggle sometimes with those hard conversations, right? They're not fun, but we're going into a market where if agents don't set proper expectations up front from the buy side and from the seller side, your clients are going to get frustrated and they're going to start firing people. You know, they're going to start
Absolutely.
firing you because you didn't set clear expectations on price or on condition or on what they need to do to get their home ready to sell because you just
Absolutely.
wanted the listing.
Absolutely. Yep, yep. Don't just go in and, you know, I've taken over, to be the second listing agent on the listing is not a bad thing
Yeah.
sometimes. But you know, a lot of times when I'll go in, I'll ask the homeowner, I said, who set this price? Well, I did. Oh, you did? Oh, okay. Why did you set the price? Well, I told the agent what I thought it was worth and they went with it. You know, there's not anything wrong with telling the homeowner they're wrong and this is
Yeah.
why, and
Yeah.
showing them the documentation, because we have what they don't have. We have all the sources. So that's happened to me so many times. So you just have to be honest with the
Yeah.
homeowner, and either they take your advice or they don't. But if they don't and you overlist it, you know, I mean, listen, we all know each other. You know, I mean, you and I didn't know each other personally, but we knew each other. You know,
Yeah.
you don't want to, number one, get a bad reputation as a realtor out there. You know,
Mhm.
all that realtor will just take anything just to get a listing, because, you know, that's what happens. You want to have a good reputation out there. You want to, when I submit an offer, when my name's on the contract, I want the other agent to go, oh, wow, seller, this was written by Beth Hennick. I feel good. You know, she's a good realtor. You know, I mean, that's what we do. We do as good as realtors. We look at that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's important.